Hey everybody, this is Mike with On Point Preparedness. I hadn't touched base with you all for about 2 weeks, so I wanted to put out a quick video just to touch base. This one's going to be in relation to my last video, which is how another Republican can steal Donald Trump's presidency. Now in this video, if you hadn't watched it, I talk about this big movement of faithless electors from Trump-won states that are intending to vote for another Republican candidate instead of Trump. Their goal is to move as many electoral votes away from Trump as possible, hoping to get him beneath 270, whereby then the top 3 candidates with the most electoral votes would then head to the House of Representatives, and the House would determine who would be president. So if they can steal enough from Trump and give them to a secondary Republican candidate, it's possible that another Republican may go in and steal the presidency. Again, very slim chance, but still a possibility. But here's the interesting thing, is you have these faithless electors. Currently, there's a confirmed 7 faithless electors from Trump-won states that are going to vote for potentially another Republican candidate. I've seen other websites as high as 15 faithless electors that are going to dump Trump. But in total, if we look at the Electoral College map and how many that Trump won, we need 37 electoral votes to get him beneath 270. So do we really think there's going to be 37 faithless electors? More than likely not. But you take faithless electors along with the Jill Stein delayed recounts currently happening, and there's something interesting developing. So if you were not aware, Jill Stein, who is from the Green Party, along with Hillary Clinton, are demanding recounts. And they were primarily targeting Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. They are no longer pursuing Pennsylvania, but there is currently a Wisconsin recount, and there's a lot of lawsuits going on for a Michigan recount. But what happens is if the recount is not completed by the deadline of December 20th, the state forfeits their electoral votes, and then they go to no one. And many websites are saying that was the plan all along, is that if they can't get enough faithless electors, let's just forfeit the votes and take them away from Trump entirely. So you can see here that Wisconsin will almost certainly miss that deadline because Jill Stein waited up until 90 minutes before the Wisconsin deadline for filing a recount petition. And they think that they'll definitely miss this deadline because the last recount took more than a month, and that was just for a state Supreme Court contest where there was only 1.5 million votes. Now in Michigan, you can see from this Zero Hedge headline, there is total chaos as there's lawsuits left and right trying to prohibit recounts. But if you remember the Electoral College map, Michigan was one of the last states to actually get their act in order and count all their votes. Even a lot of the West Coast states, with the time zone difference, were able to count their votes quicker than Michigan. So it's likely that Michigan may even forfeit their votes if this recount goes into effect. And so think about this, folks. Wisconsin, 10 electoral votes, lost. Michigan, potentially, 16 electoral votes, forfeited, lost. That's 26 out of 37. We have between 7 and 15 faithless electors. Very interesting stuff here. Now, that does not count potential faithless electors that are going to dump Clinton and vote for Trump, or dump Clinton and vote for Bernie Sanders, or who knows what else. But really the key thing is just about getting Trump below 270. And even if there's a third candidate that only gets 1 electoral vote and Trump's below 270, well then that would be enough for that third candidate to get in the House of Representatives vote. And so who knows what might happen. But just want to put it all on your radar. Now, again, very slim chance of this happening. Just wanted to make you all aware of it. But my friend Scott at Stand Your Ground Studio also has another theory about all of this. And he said, well, maybe they're just trying to keep the election on the minds of everyone and keep the stress and hate going for as long as they can, all the way up until Inauguration Day in January. Very possible as well. But as I've said before, if Trump gets out, if they somehow get him out, it's going to be absolute chaos. But I am not saying that if Trump stays, it's going to be, happy flower fields and roses as well. I think having a Trump presidency is just as dangerous. So any way we look at it, I think we're screwed. But again, I just really think this is an interesting development between forfeit of electoral votes because of a delayed recount process, which if you're from those states and your votes have been forfeited, I would be just absolutely ticked off. But then you also have the faithless electors. So you combine those two and heck, who knows what type of game we're playing. Anywho, I've been pretty busy over the last 2 weeks. I've been looking at a lot of the symbolism of this Pizzagate and some prophetic things as well. Hopefully I'll get some of those videos out to you in the near future. So this is Mike with On Point Preparedness. Have yourself a good weekend.